So in this issue we've got some kind of heated towel rail. What could possibly go wrong? So welcome to stage 68, and this issue we will be fitting the ankle joint to the right leg. So we'll do a parts check, and the first thing I notice is that in transit one of my parts has actually broken off. So what I'm going to be doing is checking for damage. So I don't like parts that are broken off because, you know, but they seem fine. So since this part is the same as this one, I will pop that back in the box. And we do have two different parts. We have two piece 68 one is two lower leg connectors. There's the second one. Piece 2 is another lower leg connector, but as you can see that's a little bit longer. It's easier to see if we take them off the sprue, but I'll do that in a little bit. We're going to need also this sprue. We have 68.3, which is an ankle joint ball, and 68.4 is an ankle joint socket. So maybe that's going into there, don't know. The next stage is 68.5 is rubber washer times 2. There you see. And then 6 we have a mix of bits and bobs in here now. So let's just pop that to one side, and we have got 3 kind of screws and 1 washer. So beginning in numerical order, 68.6 P2 by PM 3 by 8mm screws, and I can tell that's these screws because these are fatter. These are the only 3mm screws that we've got this week. The next one is PB 1.7 by 6mm screws, and there should be 2 of those. So that will be these, one of which is spare, and that leaves us with PWM 2 by 5mm, and a PWM seems to be a top hat screw. So 3 of those, of which 1 is spare, and then that leaves us with a washer, and that looks maybe an M2 washer. We'll find out. So first thing we need to do, step 1, is to remove piece 1, the lower leg connector. One's already come off, so what we'll do is we'll cut this one off. There we go. That's gone trimmed all the way down, and then we just want to trim this one up just because it's come off on its own accord. So we just trim up any excess there. If you're a little bit worried about that piece of plastic shell, you can always go over it with a bit of silver paint or something, but I think that will be fine. Right, so step 2, we take one of these washers, and you'll see that there's a larger recess and a smaller recess. What we need to do is that the larger recesses fit over the end of the leg connector, like so. Now if you were to put the smaller recess in, you see that that's a balancing act, and you can see that that's not going to go in. If you put the larger recess in, you can see that you can balance them on there because it's actually got a ridge that it's going over. And then what we want to do is secure that with a PMW 2 by 5mm screw. Now at this stage we don't actually know how tight to pop this screw onto, so I'm just going to screw it to there, and we'll leave it like that. If we squish that right down, what's going to happen is it's going to make that washer wider as it squishes down, and then it won't fit into its target. If you make it too loose, it'll go in nice and easy, but the washer could fall off. So I'm just going to do it just until it's just there, and then we can do final adjustments when we actually come to fit it, which I think may be shortly, but you know, I'm not sure yet until we get to that stage. So do that again with the second one, and we just pop that screw into there like so, and we'll screw that in, and resistance begins to increase, so I'll stop there. So that's step 2 and 3 done. And then the next thing we want to do is remove the ankle joint parts 68.3 and 68.4, which are these two parts here, from the frame, and smooth any rough edges. So that can come off. Lovely. And this one, and I think it looks like with the sprue points, I think these are called sprue nubs. They're actually joined to the sprues in areas that you won't see very well, so that's quite handy. After checking that the flat edge of the part aligns with the screw hole in part 68.4, there we go, we place that into there like so. I find that quite interesting that we have to line this up, and that's really difficult to get in. Is that meant to go in there? Fit the ball of the ankle joint into the socket. You will need to push it firmly until it clicks in place. So the flat piece here, you see it's rounded there, but there, as I bring it round, you can see it's flat. You see this flat edge. So this flat edge needs to line up this single screw hole there, and that's going to go into there like so, and that is a really hard push fit, so if you get this wrong it may not come out again. So oh, that does not want to go in. There we go. So I don't know if you heard that click, but what I'm quite interested to know is how well will this rotate. Will it rotate that way? It's certainly going round this way, and I think I've got that flat bit fairly level, but I guess we'll find out shortly. So that's that bit done. So now what we need to do is take the assembly from stage 66, and that unfortunately is the entire model. So as you know, I struggle with this now because it's getting so big. So excuse my camera angle going funny. So let's see how far back we can move him. Right, so what we're looking for now is this large it's the shin bone by the looks of things, and this is going to go in. Yes, right, so let's turn him onto his front, and I think that will be a lot easier to see. So on the back of what I'm calling the shin bone, we have this screw there, and this is going to go in like so, and the screw hole there is going to line up there just like that, and then we need to fix that part together with a PB 1.7 by 6mm screw, which is this one, which is going to be your only screw left that is actually going to fit in the hole, because the other screw we know is 3mm. And please forgive the way I'm holding this. The top is actually so long, so large and so heavy, it's actually moving this. So that's going to screw into there like so, and that will tell you when to stop. So there we go. That's really interesting. It's a really interesting way of fitting this, but it certainly does work. So the engineering of this is pretty good. So the next stage, I might just bring his leg up. There we go. So he's kind of laying on his side at the moment in what would be the recovery position, and I will ask you to Google that if you don't know what the recovery position is. So this piece here is going to go into there, and I can see that that is extremely loose, and I think no amount of no amount of screwing in is going to make that tight. So not a problem, because I believe we have a mod for this. So let me just consult my bag. So we have this mod here, and this actually comes from Part Work Upgrades, but I'm not going to use it in this video, and I will explain why. So this video is going out on the 27th of December, and it's actually going to be the last one of 2 videos. So I'm actually going to make a 3rd video, just like I did on the 29th of November when I did the tendon wobble fix. This is going out on the same day as this issue, and I'm going to explain how to do all of that, if it's appropriate, which I think it is. So what we will be doing is we'll be attaching this, and that will go into there, I hope. Yeah. And we'll also have this, which is going into there, which again I will explain that in another video. So let's do this as per the magazine, and then you can see all the problems that we will have. So this is going in there like so, and as you can see, that's going to be really wobbly, so be careful. And then this one is going to go into the second one. You see you've got 2 the same size, and then what we need to be doing is taking this one off the sprue, and I can see now why it's longer, and this is going straight into there like that, which is interesting because these ones have washers, and I'm actually going to tighten this washer up. I think these are meant to be much tighter. No, do you know what, that's not doing it, is it? Wow, I'm going to be honest with you, I really am enjoying this build, but that's not even close. That is not even close. You know, we've had areas where the earlier wobble that we fixed, you could live with that fix, but this, oh, anyway, let's carry on. So this one is going, this one is going into that one there, and then we can move on to step 9, and we need the ankle joint assembly from issue 67. Note that in the center there is a shaped hole and a rectangular block. So rectangular block, shaped hole, and what's going to happen, and it all makes sense now. So this little piece here, there's a little shape there, and this is going to go on like so, and I can see now why it needs to be the shape it is. So what I'm going to do, you see that that's got a shaped hole, and that coincides with the flat bit, and then let's say that hole needs to go on there. So all is not lost if you've put that ball joint on incorrectly, because once you get this on just a little bit, you can now rotate that ball. It's going to be difficult to do, but as you see, look, I've not quite lined mine up properly. It's just a little tiny bit off. So I'm just going to pull mine sideways a bit, and then I can continue to push that on properly. So look at that, perfect, absolutely perfect. And we are now then going to connect these up. So that goes over there like so, that goes over there like so, and this longer one can go over there like so. And do you know what, I'll be honest with you, this is actually, I've just been complaining about it, but in actual fact it is a bad wobble, but it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. But this middle one, look at that, that is absolutely terrible. That really is bad. But these two side ones, they're not bad. So that's our benchmark, isn't it? When we fix these in the next video, we'll see exactly. But this, oh, this is awful. But yeah, these I'm quite happy with, and I think actually, yes. So I think this is better than this one, but this is the one that we really tightened up we did really tighten this washer up. So let's tighten this washer up as much as we can, and I think that might just improve that wobble a bit. So obviously this is doing it as per the magazine, and no, it's actually not made much I don't know. I don't think it's made much difference. But yeah, so we've got that. That's in there. So what we need to do now is just place. We need to just screw this foot on, and I'm just keep trying to maneuver the. I don't think you need to remove the leg, but it certainly would help. So we've got one more stage left to complete. We need a 3pm 3x8mm screw, and we also need the washer. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the washer over the screw. We're going to pop that screw into the screw hole there, like so. Get our screwdriver, and we're going to tighten that one up until it tells us to stop. I'm just going to move that just so it's a bit straighter. There we go. Getting there, getting there. Right. There we go. So now we have a bit of manoeuvrability on the angle. Not an awful lot, but certainly enough. So there we go, guys. That is, I think that's on there securely. We've got movement via the top of the leg. We don't have any sideways movement there, but we have forwards and backwards, because this little notch at the back of the ankle there, it's going to enable us to move it forwards and backwards, but there's going to be no side to side, which is how a foot operates pretty much anyway. Right guys, so the next stage of the build is actually 69, but the next video that I'm going to release is going to be this fix. Like I say, I'm not super unhappy with these two here. There is room for improvement, as you can see, but I don't think they're absolutely terrible. I will do the mod because I have the mod. Now this piece, I think that's absolutely dreadful, but this one is I can live with that. So looking forward to stage 69, adding a heel detail and assembling the foot parts. However, the next video that you will see will be this tendon fix. Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.